This is it, people. Yeah, that's right. I'm Dave Rubin. This is the Rubin Report Direct Message. And for the last time ever, today, on this December 14th, 2021, I am broadcasting to you live from Los Angeles, California. We are getting the F out of here right after this. Right when we finish this live stream, the studio will be disassembled. I have packers packing the house. Almost everything is gone. I gave away half of everything that I own, and we are getting the hell out of here, and we are moving to the free state of California. Every inch of this studio right now is covered in boxes and packing material. I got bubble wrap to keep me distracted. I've got packing peanuts. It's a very exciting time. We cannot wait to get out of here. As a matter of fact, Michael, my producer, this morning, he was picking up Starbucks and some breakfast for everybody, got into a fight with a local barista over a mask. So we're going out in a blaze of glory. We are psyched and ready to roll. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not done it already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rumble channel. Of course, we're live streaming on BlazeTV. Oh, and by the way, in honor of Florida and the big move, I put up a video this morning on Twitter, sort of a behind the scenes of the studio situation. But if you subscribe to the Rubin Report Locals community, we're only doing this till the end of the year, and this is the best deal we got. We're never going to have a better deal than this. You get 3 months free if you do an annual subscription. You don't have to put in a code or anything else. That's just in honor of what's going on here with this big move to Florida. So you can go to rubinreport.locals.com. And we are doing a Q&A today. And yes, it is mostly about the move. There were a lot of questions. People want to know about my past, about my future, and all of that good stuff. And yes, we're hiring. There's a ton of good stuff going on. We are going to save America. I have nothing better to do than save this country. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start doing it in the great state of Florida. Before I get to that, though, guys, I want to talk to you about Genucel because, you know, you want to look your best when you're in a great place like Florida. And hey, why don't you take a look in the mirror? The mirror. That was my Long Island accent just burst forth. My whole life's coming together right now. Take a look in the mirror. See those bags under your eyes? Imagine them gone. Well, guys, you can get rid of that puffiness just in time for the holiday season. Introducing Genucel plant stem cell therapy for bags and puffiness under the eyes. You know, I've had bags under my eyes over the years, and I don't have them anymore. Why is that? My assistant, Helen, even told me that she's been enjoying Genucel products that we received so much that she's sharing them with family and friends. Better yet, Genucel's immediate effects product, you'll see results in the first 12 hours guaranteed or your money back. Hurry, guys, only 2 weeks left for the Genucel Christmas and holiday season sale. Genucel's most popular package is 60% off at lovegenucel.com/Dave. Treat yourself and a loved one to the absolute best skincare in the world. Just go to lovegenucel.com/Dave and enter my special promo code Dave for an extra special holiday present. Order now and get free priority shipping for delivery by Christmas. That's lovegenucel.com/Dave, lovegenucel.com/Dave. And now back to me. All right, before I get into the Q&A, I want to show you a perfect example of why I am leaving the dystopian nightmare of California and moving to the free state of Florida. Ron DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida, who is a good, decent man trying to fight the tide of nonsense and authoritarian lunacy that is sweeping across this country. He is fighting to keep his state free, and I'm going to damn well do everything I can to help him. Well, he was on Laura Ingram's show last night talking about the stark difference between California and Florida, and I'm fairly certain he was talking directly to me through the tube. Take a look.
Really quickly on this issue of mask mandates. I know you've rejected them across the board. What's your reaction tonight to both Newsom in California and Hochul in New York going back to mask mandates with this Omicron, which seems to be, thankfully, so far, a mild virus? And that's the data we have, at least so far, on that. What's your reaction to the blue states' reaction to this?
Well, what are we on, like day 700 of the 15 days to slow the spread? The fact of the matter is, I think we've learned you give these people an inch, they will never let go. They are going to take a mile. They are going to restrict. They're going to mandate. They're going to lock you down. And we cannot accept that. Obviously, in Florida, we do not accept it. So there's no reason to be restricting or mandating anybody throughout our country. And the fact that this is still going on in these blue states and may even intensify over the coming weeks and months, it just shows you if you value your freedom in 2022, if you're in those states, you need to make your voice heard and you got to do a change of direction, because I fear that they're going to continue to do this until they suffer at the ballot box.
Yeah, New York has now a higher case rate than Florida, Governor. New York City, just to be specific about that.
Yeah, and so here's the thing, Laura. It's a seasonal pattern. Southern states have a different season. The northern states they're going through their season. Mandates and restrictions have not been effective, but they've been very costly. And I think the proof is in the pudding. You have people that want to come to Florida to vacation and buy homes. You don't have the opposite, where people are leaving free states to try to go to New York or some of these other places.
God, I can't wait to get out of here. Yeah. Everything he said there is true. How refreshing is it these days to hear someone that plainly speaks the truth, that doesn't want to rule over you, that just wants to create the conditions so that the people that live in his state can live free, that mandates don't work, that we know all of this nonsense, lockdowns don't work, you can keep people in masks forever. It's seasonal and it's going to be like the flu, and some people will get a little sicker and some people won't, and will get herd immunity and all of those things. It's just plain spoken truth. I cannot wait to get out of here. Can you guys feel it? Yeah, I'm literally going to explode. The end of this show is just me spontaneously combusting, and then they'll just take my mush to Florida. Oh my God. And by the way, DeSantis, he's lost a little weight, which that kind of hints at perhaps a presidential run. Could that be? I feel like they always try to get fit right before a presidential run, which, speaking of that, I saw a picture of Trump on the golf course a day or two ago. It looks like he's lost like 40 pounds, so who knows what's going on. All right, guys, we got a gajillion questions here. Real quick, I want to talk to you about Canva. You know, making content is an essential part of what my team and I do to keep this show going, but it hasn't always been a seamless creative process. From videos, social media, our website, and our community, to merchandise, business cards, and even my book cover, our design skills have been challenged in ways we could have never imagined. Fortunately, we have found Canva Pro, and now we can design anything like a pro on any device. Canva Pro is a design platform that empowers you to create and share stunning content in just a couple clicks. Choose from thousands of templates that are easy to customize or start from scratch. Canva Pro has endless premium fonts, photos, videos, and so much more that add personality and edge to your designs. And designing together has never been easier. Sharing, editing, and commenting in real time. Canva Pro helps teams stay organized and on the same page. No more misplaced files or tedious back and forth. Plus, you and 4 teammates can unlock everything Canva Pro has to offer for just $12.99 a month. And with Canva Pro's Content Planner, you'll save time planning, creating, and posting social media content as well. Pause scheduled posts and edit them anytime. Design like a pro with Canva Pro right now. You can get a free 45-day extended trial and use my promo code. Just go to canva.me/Rubin to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/Rubin, canva.me/Rubin. And now back to me. All right, here we go. The last show from Los Angeles. And then we blow up the place. Super Spouse says, moving just in time, gruesome Newsom has us back in masks tomorrow. If the vaccines work, what is going on? So in case you didn't pick up what Laura Ingraham was asking DeSantis there, they are starting an indoor mask mandate once again throughout all of California. Now, LA, where I live, for now, for the next 24 hours, has had this indoor mask mandate virtually everywhere. So you walk into Starbucks, you get into a fight. If you're this guy, if you go to a supermarket, you get yelled at without a mask. If you're this guy, it's just been an abject disaster here. We know those things don't work. And yes, to your point, it seems to me at this point that the people who are the most pro-vaccine are also the biggest anti-vaxxers at some level. If you believe that vaccines work the way they were promised to work, then you would not care if someone else was vaccinated or not. If you believed, and we were all told at first, you're going to get the vaccine, everything's going to be fine, it's going to give you 100% coverage, we're going to open up the country, we're good to go. Now, if that had been the case, it would not matter. You'd get vaccinated, and then if 10 people around you didn't want to get vaccinated, well, first off, it doesn't mean that they're automatically sick. That happens to be sort of the way people are looking at it right now. Like somehow you're either vaccinated and that means you're clean, or you're unvaccinated and that means you're sick. And it's like, no, there are plenty of perfectly healthy people who have not gotten vaccinated, who are good, decent people trying to make medical decisions for themselves. Perhaps they do exercise and eat right and get sunlight, things of that nature. But if you believe that if you took the vaccine and it works, well, then you wouldn't care what someone else does, okay? But we know, obviously, and fact check me, YouTube, or delete this video if you think I'm lying, the vaccines do not work as promised. The meme very quickly changed from you'll get 100% coverage to, oh, you won't get as sick if you get the vaccine. Oh, but also now we kind of figured out that after 3 months, the vaccines aren't quite as strong. And after 6 months, they're really not as strong. So you want that second shot, and you want that booster shot, and you want that fourth booster, blah, 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 blah. So the point is, to DeSantis's point, this has very little to do with anything other than control. You absolutely should do whatever it is that you think is right, whatever it is that you think works for you and your family and your loved ones and all of those things. And why do we not talk about the rest of the health stuff like working out? Why do we not talk about losing weight? Why do we not talk about eating right? Never has Fauci ever talked about any of those things. There was a study that I saw in the last couple of days that one of the reasons that COVID is spreading more amongst obese people is because it's attacking fat cells. Like there's all sorts of stuff that maybe we need to know more about, but as a general rule, living a somewhat healthy lifestyle is probably good for you. So yes, it is absolutely insane that he is instigating this mask mandate again tomorrow, and it's perfectly fitting that I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was my one F-bomb for the day, I promise. Patrick says, when you wrestle your first alligator, will you follow a catch and release policy, or will you use it to make loafers for you and David? Now, I want to be clear about something here. First off, as I said yesterday, I've always loved Florida. We always vacationed in Florida. My folks have a little winter place down in Florida, and they've got a little moat behind the place, and alligators go by. I think I've been seeing this same alligator. Alligators. Give me an average lifespan on an alligator, would you? Alligators live for a freaking long time, so I'm pretty sure I've been seeing this one alligator just go back and forth past my parents' little condo for pretty much. I've been going there 45 years, my whole life. Alligators live 30 to 50 years, so it could be the same gator. It could be. Maybe it isn't. I'll have to ask him when I get down there. But sometimes he comes up on the banks and just kind of hangs out there, and I've gotten as close to maybe 15 feet. I do know, by the way, and I know a lot of you are concerned, one of the things you got to know about alligators is that if an alligator is chasing you, this is an important piece of knowledge that I know, even though I've been living in California, but this shows that I've vacationed in Florida before. If an alligator chases you, what you don't want to do is run straight because they're very fast. What you want to do is if you kind of run like a zigzag, like one of these, Michael, this is very important, Miami Mike, you want to go like this or run in circles because then they have to drag their tail and that will slow them down because it's hard to drag the tail. But if you're bam, that way, they can follow you. So what the hell was the question? Yes. Oh, will I make alligator loafers? No, I'm going to be very pro-alligator. I love alligators. I got these 2 alligator pictures right here. I've always enjoyed the reptile. I'm going to go to Gatorland. I can't wait to be there. Oh, and in the house that we're buying, actually, speaking of alligators, the guy that we're buying from, he's a big Florida guy, and there's a whole wall that's like alligator wallpaper. So I'll post a picture of that, so you'll see that. There you go. Michael says, you mentioned yesterday that Elon Musk was among those fleeing California and taking their employees with them. Are there any plans to have the person of the year in the new studio for an interview? Also, Dogecoin to the moon. Look, I would absolutely love to sit down with Elon Musk. Oddly, for all the circles that we sort of travel in that are somewhat similar and kind of overlapping, I've never met him. We've never communicated in any way. I've got enough friends sort of somewhat in his world, so I would love to, because even though he moved to Austin, so he moved to Texas and he took Tesla there. I mean, think about it. You still got this idiot, this complete buffoon, that fake Indian woman, Elizabeth Warren, tweeting about how evil Elon Musk is every day. This guy who is sending electric cars to the to orbit just because he can, the guy who's going to get us to Mars, the guy who's building electric cars down here, building underground railroads, like all of this stuff. And she's produced nothing ever other than she pretended to be Native American to get a job. But they always go after the people that produce. This is sort of what Atlas Shrugged is all about, right? So I would love to sit down with Elon Musk. I'd love to know what his considerations were when he said, hey, I'm going to take my company and move them to Texas, as opposed to Tennessee, as opposed to Florida, as opposed to some of the other red states that he could have done that. So stay tuned. We'll work on it. Clickaholic says, what will you miss most about California? And what do you look forward to most about Florida? What will I miss most about California? I mean, look, as I said yesterday, we've had a very good life here. We came here 8 or 9 years ago. It'll be 9 years in about a month that we came here. We had nothing. Like we had, I think, $10,000 or $15,000 between the two of us. We really struggled for a while. Like we took a lot of risks. Those things usually paid off. Like we grew companies. I built and sold a tech company in the time that I was here. The Rubin Report continued to explode. Like I've lived a really good life while I've been here, and I will look fondly on all of that. It's what's happened to the state in the last couple of years. And a lot of people that have been here for a long time have said this has been slowly going on for a really long time. You really don't know what it used to be like. And that's just fine. What I'll miss most, honestly, I mean, this is going to sound like the end of Lord of the Rings, but I'll miss the friends, like the other hobbits. I'll miss the friends because, I mentioned the other night, we had dinner with Dennis Prager and his wife and Larry Elder and his girlfriend and Patricia Heaton and her husband, Dave, and Abigail Schreier and her husband, Zach, and Marissa, the CEO of PragerU, and her husband. And like, I've met all of these really cool people who've been up my inner circle here, and they're all here still. And everyone's thinking about moving. And I don't say any of that to name drop, like, oh, I had dinner with these people. It's more like I've had a great network here, a great network of really cool, interesting people, because there are people like that here. It's just that they're in the minority and it's getting worse, and their influence, our influence to change things here, just seems like it's diminishing every day. So I'll miss the people, I suppose, and I'll miss the weather a little bit, but yeah, Florida's got great weather too, and I'll survive in August. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll go somewhere for a couple weeks, or I'll survive. Like, it will be okay. What do I look forward to most about in Florida? I mean, that's easy. It's life. Life is in Florida. I'm telling you, we've been there a couple times over the last few months, because we were going initially to look for a house. Then I wanted to bring my team so that they could come and figure out how we were going to build out the studio and they could find apartments and all that stuff. And it's like another planet. Like I really feel like I'm moving to another country. This doesn't feel like if 10 years ago I had been like, you know what, I wrapped up everything I want to do here in California, I'm moving to Florida, or I'm moving back to New York or whatever. It would be like, oh, okay, there's some marginal differences. But now it feels like I'm moving to another country, a place that is governed by a completely different set of rules than this ridiculous place known as California. And what I'm looking forward to is being out and about and seeing people again. And I'm not kidding, literally seeing people smile. You do not see people smile here because you cannot see their faces. And when we've gone out in Florida, restaurants are packed. There's life on the streets. Things aren't boarded up everywhere. And just to be part of that. So what I'm really excited about is that I think that creatively for me and this show and all of that, like, I think it's going to be juiced up, because I've told you this a couple times, like, when in the morning when I look at the stories and I'm like, Gavin Newsom did this, oh, California did this, oh, LA's run by a bunch of morons. It's like, that's a little myopic, because I have people all over the world that watch this. And you know what? I'm going to just let California go. Sorry, I'm done with you. There's nothing else I could do. You can come knocking on my door one day and go, oh, no, we turned it around, and I'll be very happy for that. But I want to focus on good, and I want to focus on things that we can build and do better with and save this freaking country. And that's what I'm going to freaking do in Florida. Philip says, months ago, during their first backstage after moving to Nashville, Ben Shapiro made the comment about you moving and said, we are going to grow old together in Florida. Does that mean he is once again proven right? So I did a backstage with them right as I think it was the last day that they were in LA, something like that. And Shapiro was mocking me because I was staying, and I said, but Noel said he was going to stay, and I'm going to fight, and Larry Elder, and we'll do it, and yada, yada, yada. And Ben was just like, yeah, we're going to grow old together in Florida. I can see it. And yes, he was right. he was right. Like, it's actually true. Ben got one right. There you go, Ben. Congratulations. Look, Florida, I was on Ben's radio show this morning, which I think they'll replay or post on YouTube a little bit later today, and we get into it a little bit more. But Ben's inclination was right. You know, I live not too far from where the Daily Wire studios used to be, probably about a mile and a half or so. And they're on the main drag over here. And the building that at one time they had 75 people working in, and they did such a great job with these studios. They were beautiful. They were state of the art. The whole building on the inside was gorgeous, very nondescript on the outside. But they poured so much money into this. They had expanded into the building next door. They had huge plans. Then all hell broke loose with the lockdowns and the race riots and all the crazy nonsense. And it was right. So much of it was right on the street where they were, which is very close to where I used to live, which is partly why I moved into this house, because it was a little further away. I thought it would buy me some time, and I suppose that it did. But when you pass that now, the building that they used to be in, it's boarded up. And you could just tell no one's renting this freaking thing. No one's going to be like, yes, I'd like to start a business on that main street where everything else is boarded up and restaurants can't stay open and there's garbage everywhere and it looks like an abject nightmare. Like, no one's going to do it. So think about what California did. So I'm talking to you, Gavin Newsom, you bastard. And I'm talking to you, Eric Garcetti. Is he even still our mayor? Nobody even knows anymore. Like, where are these ridiculous people? It's like, you guys, you ruin the state and you ruin the city. 75 good, hardworking people who were productive members of society, and a company, in this case the Daily Wire, that is worth millions and millions of dollars, took their business out. And now I'm taking a whole bunch of people and another company that's worth millions of dollars, and we are getting out of here. That's on you guys. So good luck. Good luck with your gender studies, and good luck with your critical race theory, and good luck with your high taxes and high regulation, and see where that gets you. But I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking about it. Kathy says, how is Clyde taking the move? I think we got a couple pictures here. Here's Clyde last night. So the movers put out that we normally don't have red carpet running through the house, although I am a big star, you know, big star. But they put some, it's raining, so they put some red carpet out. That's Clyde late night. That was last night as we were moving stuff out. He was kind of trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. But he's been pretty chill. And then later in the evening, let's put the next one up. Yeah, that was when he had just sort of had it at that point and cashed out. He does have a bed up in our bedroom. We haven't packed that up yet. But you can see boxes everywhere and packing up. But he's been good. He's ready. And we're going to have a big yard in the other place. And I just can't wait to get him out of here and just try something new. Let's just try something new. Clyde is down for an adventure. Brad says, how convenient that you are, how confident are you that the exodus from California isn't carrying with it the voting tendencies that are running the state into the ground? Okay, this is the bajillion-dollar question, because this has happened in the past when there are these migrations. What you see happen is all these people from San Francisco, they ruin San Francisco with their ridiculous lefty high tax policies. The education goes to shit, homelessness, you all know that. And then what do? They move to places like Austin, where they often vote in the same stupid stuff that they were escaping. So this is legit. And what's interesting is I got literally thousands of messages yesterday. Welcome to Florida, can't wait for you to be here, blah, blah, blah. But every now and again you get one, and it's like, people are like, but just don't bring those stupid policies with you. And I get it. I not only do I get it, I am going to really be doing everything I can to make sure that people who come to Florida after I'm there, helping defend all of the good stuff that Florida Man has been up to, Florida Man who we used to all make fun of, who maybe he got some shit right as he was wrestling the alligators. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that when people come, they know why they're coming, right? That's what the battle of ideas is all about. You can show people there's a better way of doing things. And if you voted a certain way in San Francisco for 30 years or in LA for 20 years, if you voted a certain way and then you're leaving because everything is collapsing and that is what's happening, well, then don't bring that stupid lefty nonsense to the other places. Respect that those people maybe knew something. And that's very hard for liberals and lefties in general to go, maybe I had a little something to do with the collapse of this thing. So you know what? I'll do a little mea culpa here. Maybe the Dave Rubin of 7 years ago had a little something to do with this when I was pushing some of those ideas and I was a Bernie supporter and everything else. But I'm going to go there and defend those ideals that are keeping that state in great shape. And that's the best that people can do is understand why you're free, why you're flourishing, why you're thriving, and communicate that to other people. So when all the mugged liberals who are decent people who maybe didn't care about politics that much or just went along with the crowd, when they show up at your state because everything that they love has been destroyed, they don't do the same thing. They go, I better look in the mirror for just a second. And I better realize that, maybe it is that conservatives aren't all racist. Maybe these people aren't all bigots and homophobes. Maybe they do get a little something. Maybe the words freedom and liberty, maybe they actually mean something. Maybe rights mean something. Maybe the state is not God. Maybe some of that is something. And those are the ideas that I'm going to really be pushing for and making sure people understand that stuff, I promise you. Miles says, for those interested in working for you and your organization or company in Florida, where can they apply? So look, we are hiring. I am going to save a lot of money by being in Florida. We crunch the numbers on income tax, and I don't need a freaking yacht, okay? So we're going to expand. Right now, we're looking at least for an associate producer, but probably much more. So if you're in marketing, if you're in IT, if you're in production, whatever, you dig me and you got some skills, I don't know, you want to teach me how to wrestle alligators, whatever it is, email us, jobs@rubinreport.com. But I do want to be clear about something. I will not hire you because of your skin color, and I don't care what gender you are or sexuality, okay? If you have skills, if you have passion, if you want to work hard, if you want to grow, if you want to do something with value, you could work for me. But if you think I'm going to hire you because of your skin color, no, and I don't care who you sleep with. I know that's old school. I'm old school, okay? I want people who want to work hard. So jobs@rubinreport.com. And by the way, it's not just us that are hiring. Locals is down in Miami. We're opening offices there. We're building out a fully functioning TV studio so all our Locals creators, if they're in town, can do shows. So you can email jobs@locals.com if you're interested in that. And we're gonna blow it up, man. Joe says, are you planning to change the time of the live show since you're going to be on Eastern Standard Time? Joe, thank you for asking because I would have forgot to mention, yes, we are making a change. So we do this show right now. It's about 11:30 a.m. Here on the Pacific coast in California time. So we obviously have been doing this show at 11 a.m. Pacific for a while now. I like the 11 a.m. Pacific. It lets me set up my day properly so I can do all my work and meetings and calls and book stuff and just all of that stuff. I'm an early riser these days, like 6 a.m., so I have about 4 or 5 hours worth of work in the morning. Then we do the show, and then I can do TV hits or whatever else I might be doing. So yes, we're going to keep the show at 11 a.m., but it's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern, which is 11 a.m. Eastern is, which way am I going in my head right now? 11 a.m. Eastern is 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. So we're going to be on it. No, sorry. It's 8 a.m. Pacific. See, these are the things that I'm going to have to learn as Florida man, okay? We are going to be on at 11 a.m. Eastern, which will be 8 a.m. Pacific going forward. I think that's just better for my team. It's just a better way of getting the day going, getting everything we want to do in order. And I should mention, I said it yesterday, but as of today, this is our last show here, closing up shop, and then we're going dark basically through the end of the year. Now, I had plans already originally, and this is what we do every year. We were going dark for Christmas week. I don't want my guys working from Christmas to New Year's anyway. It's a nice time to take off. You shouldn't be paying attention to politics. You should be with family and enjoying the season and the spirit of Christmas and all that good stuff. But we are going dark a little bit early because of the move. So I won't have a studio for the next 2 weeks. Then when we get to Florida, we're building out an awesome studio. I promise you it's going to be really freaking awesome. But I will be in a makeshift studio in the house for a little bit, so you'll have to bear with us for that. But I have confidence that we're going to do something nice, and I'm definitely going to have to get a white linen suit. That's definitely going to be part of this with a nice pink shirt, big lapels, the whole thing, little aqua pocket square, the whole thing. Very Miami Vice. So yes, we will be on at 11 a.m. Eastern when we are back, and we'll be in a temp studio, and then our big build-out studio. And what I will do also over the next couple weeks, because I don't want to just go MIA on you. Obviously, it's going to be nutty with physically moving and just like all the things we're coordinating. But I'm going to do a bunch of video stuff on Locals, probably exclusively for the Locals community. I feel like these have been the people that have been supporting me the most directly, people that I have like a real relationship with, who I try to respond to every day and everything else. So again, if you want to join us, rubinreport.locals.com. And if you sign up now through the end of the year, you get 3 months free, which we're going to end at the end of the year. Then we're not doing that again, the 3 months. This just purely in honor of getting the hell out of here. All right, Sue says, what encouragement do you have for those of us that can't leave California just yet, planning to leave very soon, but stuck here in the Bay Area for the moment, praying for a safe journey for you? Well, first off, thanks on that. Look, I get it. I kid you not. Every single person that I know that lives in Los Angeles is trying to plot their exit. One of the reasons that David and I decided to leave now is because we don't have kids yet. We're working on it. I hope I can share some great life updates with you guys soon. But obviously, once you have kids, it makes things much more complex. So I have a lot of friends that have kids. You got kids in grade school, you got kids in high school. It's like, it's hard to move whole families. It's not just about you figuring out, can you work in this new place, or is your job remote, or all that. Kids, after school sports, I don't even know if they're allowed to do that in California anymore. But like, if the more entrenched you are, the bigger your family is, and the more you entrenched you are in a community, maybe your parents or siblings, adult siblings, aunts, uncles, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I get why it's very hard to leave. So I viewed this as our best chance to get out. I also sense that the real estate market is going to absolutely collapse here because nobody's moving here. So I also felt like I didn't want to get, crushed on the house here and then have to move to Miami or anywhere in Florida, really, where the real estate market is exploding. So you have to pay a lot right now to get in there in the first place. But I get the stuck feeling. It's not a great feeling. I would just say start doing the work, whatever that means to you, whether that means starting to look for work in Florida, starting to work remote for a company that's based in Florida, talking to your spouse, talking to your kids, like start laying some of the groundwork. This decision for me was not easy because I've got a bunch of employees and I had to talk to everybody and really make sure everybody wanted to go. Now, I was lucky, everyone did want to go, but like, you gotta plan that, whether it's your family or your work life or whatever it is. Like, start doing the things. It's not just that one day you're gonna be like, I'm getting the hell out of here, and then you grab your bag and go. Like, that's a pretty unique experience if you could do that. So just sort of really think about it seriously. I mean, this is something that Jordan Peterson used to talk about when we were on tour off, and a lot of people would ask a question like, I'm really unhappy at my job, what do I do? And he would say that a lot of people would come to him with that when he was a clinical therapist, and they'd be like, I'm quitting my job. I'm just quitting my job. And he would always say, well, that's crazy. Have you thought about how you're going to pay for rent? How you're going to pay for food? How you're going to pay for your kids, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, you have to take a little time, suck it up. And I get it. It sucks. You're in the Bay Area. I mean, the Bay Area is a nightmare, right? It's just a nightmare if you're around San Francisco. That's not to say there aren't some nice places there. And I hope one day, if they ever let me back in California, I'd love to go back to Napa, right? I'd love to go back to Sonoma, wine country. But I honestly don't know that I'm ever going to come back here. I really don't. But do the things that you have to do in your life so that you can get out before it's too late. And the thing is, you will flourish. You will flourish when you go. I can feel it. I know it. I know so many people who have left, and I don't know anyone. Do you guys know anyone? Like anyone that's left and been like, oh, I should have stayed in Cali. I miss the taxes. I miss the homeless. I miss the drug use. I miss the shitty schools. I miss the crack pavement and side streets and bleh. Crazy Ears says, somebody's going to buy your house, open the garage and say, did they shoot porn flicks in here? Well, I'm not on trial here, okay? No, first off, this is my office actually. So my other studio that you guys all remember, that actually we had built out, that was fully the garage. The new studio that we're building is also going to be in the garage. It's going to be significantly bigger than this, and we're building offices and a whole bunch of other stuff. This house was pretty cool because when we walked in, this was built in. What's behind me right now, these shelves were built in as an office. We put the lighting in there. Obviously, we decked them out and all that whole thing. But my garage is pretty much a garage. So I don't think they'll walk in there and say, did they shoot porn flicks in there? I guess they could walk in here and think, we've got great lighting. We're having a good time around here. Nobody's complaining. Next up, Kimberly says, will you have space for a garden at your new place? I bet you could grow almost anything in Florida. Yeah, we're getting a lot of land, which I'm super psyched about. Here in LA, you really can't get land. So I've had my 4 planters upstairs on the roof, and I got basil, and I got tomatoes, and I have a little orange tree, which you want to know a sign. You know how the universe talks to you sometimes? So basically for about 5 years, David and I have tried with different citrus trees to grow lemons or limes, oranges, grapefruit, etc. But because we didn't have a lot of land, we were always trying to do it out of pots. So we'd get, nice big pots, and we get like a decent sized citrus tree at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. And over the years, we've probably tried to grow maybe 10 or 15 different citrus trees into fruit-bearing trees. And it has never worked here. And I know, generally citrus trees don't want to be grown in pots, but you absolutely can do it. You can do it in a very small pot, even in your kitchen with enough sunlight. Anyway, for all these years, we could just never get one to thrive. Finally, in the last 2 weeks, I've had this citrus tree upstairs, and it's putting out oranges left and right. Like, that is a sign, man. Go to Florida. The tree is telling me, leave me here. There's nothing else you can do for me. I have borne fruit for you. Now go to a place where fruit is free and bountiful, and that place is Florida, the citrus capital of the world. And by the way, I love citrus. I'm a citrus guy. Love oranges, love lime, lemon, grapefruit, love it. So I'm very excited. Yes, so I will build out an awesome garden. I can't wait to do that. And we could do just really, really cool, much bigger things. I think maybe we'll get a chicken coop again. I'm psyched, man. Are there chickens in Florida? You can have chickens in Florida, right? The gators probably love the chickens. Actually, I went to Gatorland once when I was a kid. I think I was about 12 years old. We took a trip down to Orlando. We went to Disney and Epcot and that whole thing. And then we went to Gatorland, and it was incredible. I'll never forget this. I don't even know if they do this anymore. I'm sure ASPCA couldn't have been happy with them, but they had a big chicken wire going across like a pond, and they put chickens hanging on the wires, and then gators would just jump out, chomp the chickens, bring them down, feathers flying all over, blood. It was awesome. Man, I can't wait to get out of here. Cooper, Dave, when you find a favorite bar in Florida, let us know so we can shout you a drink. Yes, I will meet with people again. I promise you, I love doing meetups with my locals community. We will go to bars. We will drink margaritas. We will drink mojitos, whatever else they're serving in Florida. Don't love the orange wine. I don't, but I will try it again. They make wine out of oranges, I think, in Florida. I am down to try it again because that's how much I want to become Florida. I want Florida inside me. You understand? Galersh says, I don't know where Gavin Newsom lives, but before you leave California, you should get a picture of Clyde peeing on a tree in his front yard. It won't hurt Newsom or the tree, so it's mostly symbolic. I mean, at that point, I would just, have him take a dump in a bag and I'd throw it at the window. Yeah, I don't like Gavin Newsom. I wouldn't bother. Why would I want Clyde to have to go there and smell around Newsom? He smells like sulfur. Clyde doesn't want that. Anastasia says, will you do any live chats over the 2.5 weeks that you will not be doing the Rubin Report with your locals community? Yeah. So that's where I'm going to be putting most of the stuff. We have 1 or 2 videos, some fun things, a couple of people welcoming me to Florida that we're going to put up on YouTube. But yeah, I'm going to be doing more live chats with you guys. I'm going to be doing more live streams in the locals community and just kind of staying in touch with you guys. I know it's weird because you disappear for a little bit and people could forget about you. So yeah, so rubinreport.locals.com. As I said, 3 months free if you sign up annually right now. And I will absolutely stay in touch with you guys for sure. And we're going to set up live meet and greets down in Florida. Actually, I just told my agents yesterday, I want to do a huge live event in Florida, hopefully in January, just to kick off, here we are, let's save the state. Byrne says, are you going to change your hairstyle in order to adapt to the Florida humidity? This is a big one. This is a big one for me because, humidity, what it does is it weighs down the hair. Now, here in Los Angeles, in California, we have low humidity here. You can do a lot with the hair. You can get it as high as you want. You can wave it around, and then you can spray it in such a way that it's pretty much not going to move on you. Florida, it's different. It's humid. You're going to be getting a lower hair. You're going to be getting product dripping into your eye, especially in the summer season. So I'm going to have to talk to my people about that, about what are we going to do? Should I shave it off? Is that it? Go into my, no, keep, it's too much of a trademark. It's a trademark. It's a trademark. I'm going to keep it as long as I can. But we're going to need Gorilla Glue. I don't know what we're going to do, but we will do something to make sure that the Dave Rubin that you know and love, he's the same Dave Rubin in Florida, but he's better. You know what I mean? He's better Dave Rubin because maybe there's some sort of alligator oils I could be putting in my hair. Whatever it is, we're going to find it. Mike says, congratulations on your decision to leave the communist state of California, Dave. Continued success in the land of the free and the brave. That's not a question, but I appreciate the kind words. And Candace says, you have helped push me over the edge and I've decided I'm leaving as well. What's the first thing you want to do in free Florida? Well, first off, I'm thrilled to hear that. I got a lot of messages from people yesterday saying, hey, I'm thinking about leaving, or like, you just like got like this like stuck in my head now, and I got to talk to my wife or husband or all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad. Like, if you love freedom, if you love America, if you love having some capacity to make a decision over your life, like, get out of New York, putting in vaccine mandates and masks again, and get out of California and you guys can have it. Like, we're conceding it to you people, okay? You social justice, lefty, Marxist, communist freaks, you can have California. Have it with all your diversity and have it with all of your nonsense, and you will destroy it, but have it. But you can't have what we want to. Pick one, all right? So you can have it. I'm letting it go. I'm letting you go, Callie, and I ain't coming back. That's it, guys. That's it. This is it. What can I say to you? What can I say that I haven't said already? Well, I guess I sort of said this yesterday, but I just want to tell you guys one more time just how appreciative I am that so many of you, I mean, literally hundreds of thousands, millions of you are on this adventure with me. The amount of messages I get of support, that you welcome me into your homes or onto your phones every day, even just for a few minutes to offer a little sanity into your day. Like, trust me, you guys are paying it right back to me, because if I was just talking into the ether, I probably wouldn't be doing this. Like, we're all keeping each other sane. I hope that you will see that with this move that we're doing, that these aren't just ideas. Like, you can put your life into motion and set it up for great things. Like, I know that great things are coming. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to jinx it, because I know that we are going to flourish in all kinds of ways. And I mean that for me. I mean that for David. I mean that for Clyde. I mean that for my team. I mean that for the people that we're going to meet there. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that the restaurants that I go to flourish, and that the bartenders and the waiters are tipped well, and that people are happy there. And I miss that. And that is something that we all had. We all had it. They took it from us. And then maybe we just gave too much at the same time. But it's your life, man. And you got to make the decisions to do what is best for you. That's what we're doing here. California in some ways has been very good to me, as I said earlier. We came with nothing. We got some stuff now, and I got a good life and all that. But now it's starting to take too much. Can't play that game anymore. So that's it. Literally, as when I say goodbye to you in just a sec, we're disassembling the whole thing, and we're getting out of here. So I thank you guys for being part of my life for the past 8 years here in Los Angeles. But as I say to David every day, this is just the beginning, and I'm incredibly excited. And let's go, Brandon. God bless America. Keep Florida, Florida. What does DeSantis say now? What does he say? Keep my, what's this new thing? It's like, keep my Florida, Florida, keep America, stay the fuck away from me, something like that. Whatever it is, it's like, yeah, that whole thing. Anyway, really, guys, thank you. And all right, we got a lot of work to do. You know what? We're getting guacamole on the Chipotle today. That's the final thing that I will say in this studio. Guacamole for everybody. See you guys in a couple weeks. If you want to play along in the meantime, RubinReport.locals.com. And truly, I appreciate you. Thank you. And this is just the beginning.